Hi everybody, today I'm going to be talking about the time I snapped my arm in half in because I got slammed to the ground, basically. This was all my freshman year, okay? I am a rising sophomore. Wait, no. I'm a rising senior. So, I'm not a freshman. This was like 2 years ago. So, anybody involved in this, like, done. It's all done. It's like I don't care anymore, dude. Anyway, before I tell you that, I am not particularly good at sports at all. I've been in sports before, especially freshman year and last year, my sophomore year. Both were horrendous because I kind of just threw myself in it. I was kind of just like, "Oh, which sport do I do?" That one. Okay. And I just like went into it and just did it, like that's how it was for me. I didn't like think about it or was like, I'm good at that sport. No, I was just like, okay, I'm going in this one. And so my freshman year, I chose wrestling. And I actually had a reason, okay? Actually, never mind. I take back what I said earlier because I just remembered right now. The reason was because I did jujitsu for like 8 years and I was pretty good at it. So I was in my mind, I was like, I was good at jujitsu. Maybe I'll be good at wrestling. Not the same thing. Wrestling, you get like fucking murdered, and it's so I go into there and I sign up for wrestling, and I'm in it for about 2 weeks, 2 weeks maybe. No, I everybody was just new, like freshman year just started. Everyone there was basically a freshman, and so everybody was just starting out. And so I was all like, okay, this is fine. And so we were all just like barely practicing. He was just showing us the moves those first 2 weeks. And then in between each one, he'd give us like 10 minutes to wrestle each other. And I was like, okay. And it was fun. I can remember. It was a fun thing to do. I had fun, okay? I had fun until the moments leading up to this. And now I get to the part where my arm broke. So I'm not going to say any names, obviously, because, like, come on. It's been 2 years and privacy and all that. So I'll call this kid Mark Anthony. Okay. So Mark Anthony, okay, we get paired up together to wrestle, and I'm like, okay. And so we start wrestling, right? And this kid's like actually like he knows what he's doing because he's been doing it for a while, and I had no idea what I was doing. So he was like doing all these moves on me. He's doing some like I don't know. This is a while ago, but he was doing all these like moves on me that I didn't know and all this other stuff. And I was just like, okay, like I was just trying to get him. And so then he pulls this one move on me. I don't remember how it went. I'm just gonna tell how I think it went. If I am wrong, very sorry. It doesn't matter how he did it. It just matters that he broke my arm. I think he grabbed me by the leg and then dragged, like I fall into the floor. And then what he did, this is me, okay? He picked me up like this, and he like, not like, he wasn't like, like he was like, I don't know, he was like that. And so, and so he picks me up, right? And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I was kind of startled. And I didn't know what to do because this guy was picking me up like off the ground, right? So I did this stupid thing. If you're gonna join wrestling, do not do this. They didn't tell me this the whole time I was in there, but I got like tons of shit for it because I did it. I posted my arm. I went like this. He was throwing me on the ground, and I went like a fucking moron. I was like, stop! I don't know why I did that. I think it's just he was slamming me on the ground, and I felt like I needed to protect myself, so I went ugh. And you know what? Instead of protecting me, my arm just went oh. Okay, it wasn't like, but I remember I hit the ground and my eyes were shut. It wasn't shut, but I like blacked out for like maybe 2 seconds, and then I waking up like all waking up, right? And then I am laying on the ground like this, right? And I look to my left, and my arm is just like in the shape of like a V, like dead. It's right. It was right here. You can feel a bump where it was because the calcium formed there, and right here, you can just imagine my arm backwards like this, like on the ground, and I just look at it, and the first thought in my head, I didn't say this out loud, but in my head, I was like, "Fuck!" Like I was literally just like, "Fuck!" Like my arm is broken, and then 5 seconds later, I'm sitting there, and then the pain kicks in, and holy fuck, dude, it was so bad. It was like this kind of pain where it wasn't like it was like exhausting. It hurt so bad it was like exhausting to deal with it. Like it was just dude. It was like if you like took this arm only and you started skinning it and then all that pain radiated down my body. That's how it felt. And so I'm like scream it's kind of embarrassing. I was like kind of like yelling because I broke my arm and I was like, fuck, fuck, fuck. I was like, fuck, fuck, fuck. It's kind of just like shit, like like I don't know. It hurt really bad. And then the guy was like, "Do you want me to get your brother?" My brother plays football, and I don't know. I didn't know what to do, and I was like, "Shit, how am I gonna tell my dad? Because my arm's broken. I can't fucking text anybody." So I was like, "Yes, get my brother." And he comes in. My brother comes in. I won't say his name because I don't know if he probably sees this. He commented on one of my videos. Hey, um, comes in and he's all like, "What the fuck? Like your arm is broken." And I was like, "Yeah." And so I think he called my dad or something. I don't know who called my dad. I think the school might have. Sorry, I gotta tell you. Then okay, so no, what happened was the guy, I don't know what he was. He was like a sports nurse guy or something. I don't know. He came in. He works at the school, by the way. They didn't like be like call everybody. We have to call the sport injury union. Like no, they just called like some guy who worked there, and he took like this bandage and he like my arm is backwards like this, and he was like, come on, let's just move it, and he moved it like this and he taped it up basically. Not taped it, but he had like he like bandaged it up. And then I kind of walked out like this, like because dude, like my arm was broken and it hurt everywhere. And whenever I moved it, it like was like around my body. And then I went to the hospital and I got myself bandaged up. And you want to know what happened? That made me so mad. They didn't know it was broken. I knew it was broken. I could feel it. I could feel it the whole time. But they were like, "No, you just fractured your arm. Sorry, buddy." Went to the hospital, right? They were like, "Okay, you fractured it. Go home and make sure it heals." And I was like, "Okay." And I get home and I actually find this out while I'm sitting on the couch. I was sitting on the couch, right? Arm like this, and then I like accidentally move it a little bit. But the thing is, I moved it and like my arm wasn't moving, but I felt my arm moving. And I was like, "Wait, what?" So I like was moving it and I started moving it around. And you wanna know what was moving? It wasn't my arm. It was the bone inside my arm. Like the bone inside my arm was going I was like my shoulder was moving it and it was the bone inside moving it, not my arm. So I could feel my disconnected, broken in half bone fucking moving this way while I'm moving my arm like back and forth and I'm like, dude, what the hell? So I call my dad immediately. I'm like, "Dad, it's broken. It's not fractured, it's broken." He takes me to this other hospital that I think he took my brother to when he broke his collarbone. Anyway, he took me to this other hospital and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's broken." I actually have the photo. If you guys want it, I'll put it in the description because it's pretty nasty. And so he just it was so disgusting. It broke my arm and it finally healed. The doctor was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a little bit crooked, but it's fine." And I was like, "My bone's gonna be crooked, excuse me?" And now that it's fully healed, it's like a little bump. I thought it was gonna be like the bone was gonna be like no, but it's just like a little like ball of calcium, I guess. I think so. I haven't had an X-ray since then. But yeah, that's the story about how I snapped my arm in half. Do not join a sport because you're bored. Prepare first. Definitely prepare first. That's all I gotta say. See ya.